Hello everyone. Welcome to another race of Super Mario World No Cape, No Star World Tournament. Today we've got Xander479 versus Dotsarecool. My name is Durwood, also known as The Durwood and Durwood773. Very excited. The race is about to get underway. Three, two, one, and they should be off, according to my... There we go. Okay, and there, the race is up and running. It's excellent. So for anyone who's kind of just joining the tournament, or maybe you're hanging out from a previous show or something along those lines, this route is the No Cape, No Star World tournament. What that means, I'm going to actually start with the No Star World part. That references the fact that in Super Mario World, the Star World route is more or less the warp route. It allows you to kind of skip to the end of the game with only a couple levels in your way. The No Cape part references the fact that one of the power-ups, the Cape, allows you to fly over a lot of levels. So that makes a lot of levels very, very easy. So by putting in just those two restrictions, it requires the route to be much more difficult. And you can see that here in Yoshi Island 3, how these runners are trying to keep speed going as fast as possible and not miss a platform. This is actually it's a good example of this run, even though it's actually in most of the routes, this is the second level of the route, and it's almost always played the same with no power-ups, and you just run and hit those platforms as best as possible. Saw Dotsarecool attempting the midair shell jump. Unfortunately, it is a very difficult task, and I understand. I believe that it's a little bit RNG based as well as some really perfect frame, perfect input. So it's not surprising we didn't see it. Looks like I've been corrected. It's actually, I guess it's just a frame perfect trick rather than RNG based, but my mistake. I'm really amazed at how close these two runners are coming out of Yoshi Island. I think Dotsarecool is just like a few frames ahead. I'm sorry, a few frames ahead. Yeah, I can just see the messages pop up, and just there we go, loading in that first level of the next world. This is the first world that we are seeing where runners have the option to get a cape, but obviously they can't for the route. And so we're actually seeing the different platforming routes that people are going to take. Oop, it looks like Xander had a little bit of an edge there for a moment. Xander is taking the lead here. I see Shady for in chat is pointing out Xander's doing the small strats. Oh, and I see Dotsarecool taking the regular exit. I missed if that was an oof. So there was definitely a hit there that I totally missed. That is my fault. But I see Dotsarecool taking the regular exit, which is interesting. This is and then obviously going back, we're gonna have to take the secret exit there. So that is giving Xander plenty of time to get a large lead in this route. You know, I see a really good question from chat. Would it have been faster just to do Donut Plains 2 at that point? That is a really good question. I mean, the fact of the matter is, it is a Donut Plains 2 is actually an auto-scroller, so whether or not that'd be faster, I don't know. An auto-scroller is usually the worst way to go, though. Maybe someone can correct me. I've been corrected before already in this stream, so I'd love to know if that would have been... it's an interesting thought experience, that's for sure. Donut Plains 3, on the other hand, over here, Xander is taking on. This is one of the scariest levels in the route because it is really designed to be taken slowly. So it's really, you really have to hit all of these platforms, many of which are blind jumps, and just really know the route. And Xander making it look effortless. It's wonderful. It's an amazing little trick with the yellow shell, using it to hit the hammer bro so that Xander did not have to stop moving. I don't think I've seen that before, but that might just be a very normal small strat. And then I see Xander taking the first power-up of his route. Oh no, Dotsarecool taking a death in Donut Plains 3. That is going to push that lead for Xander even a little bit more. And Xander getting a little bit of that swag Yoshi throw. I love seeing that. It's a scary thing to watch. When you're jumping the gap, the only way to make it across that final gap in Donut Plains 4 with Yoshi is to throw Yoshi kind of at the final second, unless you're doing another strat where you're jumping off of the hammer brother. So I've got a good question from chat from Slow Guy is Slow. What happens if they accidentally get a feather from those cubes that cycle through power-ups? If they accidentally get a feather for any reason, whether it's that cycling cube or just they happen to catch a feather in the wrong position, maybe they're you know, whatever the case may be, it's actually it's not like a disqualification or anything that serious. You just have to take a death and then re-enter the level so that way all forward progress is done without a cape. It's effectively a death. Dots are cool making that Yoshi throw. I love seeing that. That's one of my favorite maneuvers in this route. Xander going into Vanilla Dome while Dotsarecool is on the last castle of Donut Plains. So just a little bit more than a level behind or so. Xander working his way up this level so effortlessly. Such, I do want to take a moment to point out, if you are not following these runners on Twitch, I have posted their links in chat, so it's easy to check them out in later runs and see how they progress outside of these runs. I saw Xander eat one of the dolphins, something you can only do in the Japanese version of this game. I also noticed that Xander typed in chat "sad," and I wonder if he's aware that he has such a good lead going on right now. Yeah, I do see in chat, the Japanese version only. That is true. There's a few very small differences, and that's one of the biggest ones that we see in this route. Xander taking out Resner version 1. He's going to have to fight him one more time in this route, but making it through, getting onto the butter. at the same time, we're entering into the longest auto scroller, I believe, of the game, if I'm not mistaken. This level, I mean, it can be really punishing for runners, just because with the amount of skill and precision needed to get through some of the other levels. When you get to this auto scroll level, it can actually be a little mind numbing, which can actually get players to make very simple mistakes. You see Xander showing off, which he's making his own level a little bit harder, but he's still getting those one-ups and showing a little that swag strat. I also wanted to take this opportunity to point out their current personal best. And however, this is based on speedrun.com. So some of these numbers I do know get outdated pretty quickly during a tournament because people set new personal bests and so on. Xander is showing a 35.52 and Dotsarecool showing 35.20. So that is, I mean, 32-second difference in their personal best in a run like this, extremely close. So I see in chat, does this route skip any keeps? So it does skip the Vanilla Dome castle. We're gonna use the Butterbridge route to get to Ludwig's castle. In fact, Xander is just about to face off with Ludwig now. I see Xander making comments in chat, not happy with that Ludwig castle. I can understand it's probably lowering his personal best, his chance of beating his personal best. However, I mean, he is still very far in the lead, entering into Forest of Illusion as Dotsarecool is entering into Ludwig's castle. Dotsarecool having a really solid Ludwig's castle. I mean, that is going to catch him up just a little bit, and maybe shave off a few of those seconds. I mean, I would still say that this is Xander's game to lose, but I mean, just a simple mistake. you know, is all that's needed, and then it's suddenly anybody's game. Xander going into Forest of Illusion 2 with the Yoshi. That's going to allow him to attempt a Yoshi clip. And I understand this one I'm a little bit more familiar with because of the subpixels. Oh, he missed the Yoshi clip there. The first attempt only has a 75% chance of getting into doing the Yoshi clip that basically allows you to skip the level. I believe the second attempt is about a 50% chance. Oh, and Xander has lost the Yoshi. That's going to force him to complete the entire level basically through intended strategies, which intended strategies is almost a bad word for speedrunners. And Dotsarecool, that is going to give Dotsarecool a little bit of time to catch up. Oh, I'm being corrected. The second attempt still has a 75% if you did it correctly. Maybe chat can explain it to me a little bit more, because I have heard that it goes down to 50. Is it just if you do it incorrectly that it becomes a 50% chance, something along those lines? So maybe chat can answer that for me and for the rest of viewers. But it's super interesting. It's, you know, details that are going on behind the scenes. Oh, Xander taking a hit there, and Dotsarecool making the Yoshi clip. Suddenly that is giving Dotsarecool the lead, so that we are flipping in the middle of Forest of Illusion. Dot's taking the lead. Yeah, I see that in the chat. This is going to be a close game. Very close. See Xander getting the Yoshi. He's probably going to attempt another Yoshi clip. But he also, if you noticed, he did catch the midpoint in Forest of Illusion 1. What that's going to do for him, that's kind of a backup in case he does take another hit somewhere or needs to get back into get another Fire Flower, whatever the case may be. That midpoint allows him to enter level and take that Fire Flower from the rotating power-up block very easily. Dotsarecool going into Roy's castle. Another very, very punishing level. I mean, I don't know if I would call it difficult, but very punishing. There's an opportunity to use some damage boosting here to really save some time. And Dotsarecool also has a backup Fire Flower, so it'll be interesting to see if we see the strategy of damage boosting early so that we can pick up the previous or the secondary power up, and then use that against Roy to effectively get a one-shot on Roy. So there we go. So that damage boost and then collect the backup power up made it through the difficult spike part. That can be punishing and terrifying to watch. But that means he's going into Roy with the Fire Flower, and that is going to give him just a little bit more of a lead on Xander. Wow, just absolutely impressive to watch that. Xander in Roy's castle. Xander does have the mushroom power up, so that is going to allow him to basically skip the spike part. But we're going to see the different strategy most likely, where the goal is just to get through the spike part as fast as possible, jumping out kind of as far as you can. Make sure that damage boost doesn't end before you get to the before you get to the ledge. And then we're gonna see Roy taken out. I would still say this is very much anyone's game. The next couple levels are going to be fairly standard. However, we're going to be hitting up with Wendy's Castle, and that is going to be that is another very punishing level that can end a lot of runs. And then after that, the Sunken Ghost Ship, which does have plenty of tricks in it, such as the despawning the boo ring. They can save time. Different ways to catch up, different ways to fall behind and take those hits. Dotsarecool taking the damage boost to spin jump off those boos and making it through that ghost house. But then after that, of course, there's Valley of Bowser, which is just a gauntlet of terrible possibilities. Starting off with a level that it starts off with a fairly easy level, and then their second, Valley Bowser 2, we have Sandbar, and that can really ruin any run. Bill McD in chat. For some reason, I always forget Chocolate 1 exists, and my mind goes straight to the confusion that is Chocolate 2, which we're seeing right now. Well, seeing completed right now. Chocolate 2 is really interesting in that depending on what coins you have and depending on how fast you beat the first rooms, decides where you're going to be in the second and third rooms. A really interesting mechanic that I wish they had used more in this game. Oh no, Xander taking a death right there, just slipping off that platform with the angles. I can understand that being a little bit more slippery than basically the rest of the game. Oh no, Xander taking another hit there, giving Dotsarecool just a chance to really push out that lead. Oh, a third. Oh, that is an oof. I know that in speedrunning, it's one of those things that sometimes when you make a small mistake, you take a death, it just can jostle your entire running ability, and after you make one mistake, 3 mistakes follow it. Yes, tilt. That's what I'm seeing in chat. That can happen so easily. And, oh. See in chat, maybe we should take the race safe route instead. That's you know, and that's something that I love about seeing these races, because it's so interesting to see when people take safe routes, when they take what kind of backup strategies, because different strategies may cut off an entire second, may cut off frames, or whatever the case may be, but you also have to factor in how difficult those tricks are, and what you're willing to risk, and which route you can take that may cost you a second, but is going to be much less damaging if it's messed up. I didn't see lag on Xander's screen, but I may have missed it. I see that question being posed in chat by Slow Guy. Dotsarecool taking out Windy and then moving into the sunken ghost ship. See, Dotsarecool making it into the second room of the sunken ghost ship. We're gonna see the opportunity here to despawn the first boo ring. My understanding of the way that this happens is that the boos that are flashing on and off screen, if they are on screen during the time that the boo ring is supposed to be on screen, it will force the boo ring not to load. So we did see the boo ring not despawns. That's excellent to see that. And Dotsarecool just taking a small damage boost to move onward. And after picking up the star, Dotsarecool is just going to want to kill as many of these Koopas as possible to save on any possible lag frames. Xander making it through Windy's castle. So Xander is going to have his opportunity to enter the sunken ghost ship. There is our first orb. Is the orb a thing? I just see people in chat saying orb for some reason. Is this a thing I'm not? I have to bring attention to this. Someone in chat a member in chat, Ash, the level never made sense to me. You go from a haunted ship to just a random freefall pit. That is really interesting. It's interesting to bring that up. Someone else pointing out you're falling into the valley. I do believe that the story behind it is that ship is actually one of the flying ships from Super Mario Brothers 3, which is why it has the orb as the ending, because that orb is what is used in Super Mario Brothers 3 for the end of these levels. For the end of the flying ship levels. And there is the second orb. And we see Dotsarecool is set up to do sandbar clip. Is it gonna work? Oh, it looks. I don't believe he attempted. I believe that Dotsarecool just decided that they would want to go with a safe strategy and make sure that they go right on through. If they're aware that they're in the lead, that's not a bad strategy at all, because that sandbar clip, if it kills you, it is extremely punishing. That would give Xander quite the opportunity to get back into this game. Oh, I'm being corrected. This is what, 4th or 5th time chat has corrected me. Super Mario Bros. 3 orbs were from the forts, not the ships. However, in World 8, they were. So yeah, I'm getting that pointed out in chat. So just different opportunities to see. Xander going into Valley of Bowser 2. Is Xander going to attempt the sandbar clip? He will have the opportunity to get a power-up, and it's basically free as it's the checkpoint tape. And so with that power-up, it allows his hitbox to be basically 2 squares high rather than 1 square high. And is he going for it? Oh no, yeah, he was definitely going for it, and unfortunately was caught at the end there. It's going to force him to retake the level. I would say, since Xander was behind, I would say that Xander, in order to catch up, would need to take advantage of some of those harder strategies in order to cut off time and get back up and maybe catch the lead. I'm seeing in chat just different thoughts back and forth on how much of it relates to Super Mario Brothers 3, and I'm gonna mimic or echo this line. I guess that level is just an homage level, and that's probably the best point there. We're seeing Dotsarecool in the Bowser fight. I mean, unless something really catastrophic happens, this is gonna be Dotsarecool's game. Dotsarecool's listed personal best as 35:20, so it's still very close to their personal best. We're going to see Dotsarecool attempt the ball skip. That is very close. I wouldn't be surprised either way. It looks like, and it is good. That was a ball skip. Okay, excellent. There's a few frames that you can hit Bowser on before he stops moving that will complete a ball skip, and so that it's amazing to see that. Xander taking out Resner, which will give Xander the chance to get into Bowser's castle. And that is time for Dotsarecool. GG's in chat, absolutely, for Dotsarecool. Good game. 37-14. You know, for me, anything below 40, sub 40 is just so impressive to be able to make it through this entire. Xander gonna attempt a ball skip as well here. Very close on that timing. However, Xander is yep, there's the ball skip. Excellent. little bit of a skip that Xander just did by hitting Bowser right off the bat, almost immediately after Bowser's hitbox appears in that last cycle. It allows us to skip the last two bounces by Bowser, and that's time as well for Xander. Good game. Good game in chat. GG's for Xander, completing the route. Just a very close race. Super exciting to watch that back and forth. It's not often you get to see that, because usually something punishing does not happen to both players. That was so. I was on at the edge of my seat. If anyone is interested, we have, if you have not followed either of these runners, I have posted their links in chat so that you can check them out. Xander479 and Dotsarecool. If you want to check out myself, I do speedrunning as well. I am twitch.tv/thedurwood. I put my link in chat, and I would appreciate it if you check me out as well. I'm just very curious at this point if either of these runners are going to be available to chat, or if we are going to be moving on. So I'm going to find that out real quickly for us.
Hello.
Hello. We're actually joined by both runners, Xander479 and Dotsarecool. Welcome in.
Howdy.
Hey. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, GG.
GG indeed. What were you watching? Were you keeping an ear on the stream or anything like that? Were you aware what's going on?
Yeah, I had it in the background. I managed to catch Xander's forced illusion.
Yeah, I didn't have the stream open, but I did have chat open, so I could tell. I knew that Dots did an extra exit. So I was like, okay, I'm probably in the lead. And for the majority of the run, my gameplay was okay. There was a thing with Vanilla Secret 2, but other than that, it was fine. And then Forest of Illusion happened, and everything went downhill from there.
Yeah, it was so. It was heart-wrenching to watch. I think I want to say it felt very close. Like you had the opportunity to get back into it until the Chocolate Island 2.
Yeah, CI2 was rough.
Are you okay? I know how that. I've lost runs that way before, and was heart-wrenching to watch.
For some reason, I don't get as tilted in tourney races, but I also came into this race expecting to lose, so I'm not too bothered. I got a sub 40, that's all I'm gonna ask for, really.
No, absolutely. I mean, any sub 40 is extremely impressive. So GG, definitely. Dots, how do you feel about your race today?
My run. So despite the extra exit, it was a pretty decent run. Like, I'm looking at my splits, and if you ignore World 2, I only lost 22 seconds to my PB. So it's something about World 2 is just not happy with me for this race and the last race and the race before that. But I mean, it was okay for a race, I guess. I noticed there were a bunch of jumps that I just like missed or ran off edges a lot, so it was kind of sloppy, but no major time losses other than Donut Plains 1.
Sure, yeah. I was not catching those sloppy jumps that you're talking about, so it looked great from where I'm sitting. You know, one of the things I want to bring up, I see that on speedrun it says that your personal best is 35 minutes 20 seconds, but it also shows that posted 2 years ago. Has that been updated recently with the tournament, or is that kind of still our standing?
Nope, that's still my PB from the last No Cape No Starvold tournament.
Go ahead.
I haven't run this category since the last tournament, really, so it's just been that way for 2 years, I guess.
No, I can understand that. Do you have a route you run more commonly, or a route that you're more partial?
Actually, so it wasn't until the last tournament that I started doing the Yoshi shell jump in DP1, and that's what my PB has in it, which I think was the first time I got it in a run. But before that, I just did standard World 2 small, like I did this time after having to get the extra exit.
Well, I just want to thank both of you, because that was a very close race and it was very exciting to watch. I mean, is there any final words you want to say, or anything else that you want to talk about?
Reminder to practice.
Dude, I feel like I'm not even sure the practice before my race helped me at all.
Yeah,
I feel like I messed up literally everything that I wanted to make sure I got right.
I did a run just before the race, and it was a really bad run, so I probably went into the beginning of this with not the best mindset as well. I should have just done practice.
I feel like the best way to practice, for me at least, is to just do maybe a run or an hour of practice the day before, and then just don't touch the game on race day until the race.
Yeah, that's such good advice.
Just come in fresh and let your body just go and do what it needs to do.
Yep, it seems to just work out that way.
Well, I want to thank you both so much for the race. Thank you so much for being here afterwards to chat with me a little bit. This has been a really great stream. So I just want to say my appreciations. Again, their links are in the chat if you have not followed them already, and check them out. Xander479 and our winner today, Dotsarecool. If you want to check me out, my link is in the chat as well. Is there anything else you want to say, or can we just say goodbye to everyone?
Yeah.
Other than thanks for the commentary, and thanks SpeedGaming for the restream.
Yeah.
As always.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, SpeedGaming, for hosting us. All right. Well, thank you all so much, and we will see you all next time.
See ya.
Bye.